Today we are asking the question, is Shane Gillis funny in his ESPYs Monologue? And the answer should be pretty clear. But we're going to watch it and break down why it's funny.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the 2025 ESPYs. I'm so excited to be here in front of...
We are going to see a lot of this. It's a move. It's a great move. I love the hello. Just sets him up with a little bit of awkward energy because he's like, the fuck am I doing at the ESPYs? I was canceled by everyone and everything, and now here I am, and ESPN is willing to put me on television, and they know I'm going to say some wild shit.
SGA is here. Give it up for SGA. Hell yeah, bro. And now everybody sitting around him is in foul trouble. Megan Rapinoe.
I bet that's a good joke. I don't watch the NBA, but what I will say is, before we even get into this, you have to understand that when people are doing a performance at a show like this, it's very different than doing stand-up at a club or a theater or even an arena, because there's a reason that clubs and arenas and theaters are set up the way they are, where the lights on the crowd are as dark as possible. And the reason is not for the comedians so that they can't see the crowd. It's so that the crowd can't see each other, because when people can see each other, they think they're being judged for what they laugh at. The more fucked up your jokes are, the more people are like, oh, I shouldn't laugh at that. I used to do shows at like conferences at night, which is just as cool as it sounds. There'd be lights on everyone, and so they could see each other. They hear a fucked up joke, they're like, and you can see them like they're holding in a fart, just trying not to laugh because they are afraid of being seen laughing. So this is doubled, tripled in a situation like the ESPYs. Not only can you see everybody in the crowd, but you're also afraid of being seen by the camera and getting caught laughing at some sort of fucked up joke he says. So you can see people that are trying not to laugh if you're not a super clean comedian like a Nate Bargatze, who's just gonna be like, oh man, this turtle fell over and it was hilarious. And he is hilarious. And I don't know how he's so funny, but he is. When you're telling messed up jokes, the more controversial or offensive a comedian you are, the more it's important that there is darkness in the crowd. And I'm not talking about the image of these three men that are on the screen right now. I mean darkness from a light perspective. Sorry.
Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right?
This is a great joke. I watched the interview of The View talking about Shane Gillis' monologue. And first off, Joy Behar, who's like, I was a comedian. Nobody's seen her fucking do stand-up. She's like, you should never as a comedian say I didn't write that joke. What she misses, because she's not a real comedian, is the fact that the reason he said I didn't write that joke wasn't to pawn off the responsibility onto the writer. Oh, I didn't write that, so I'm gonna pretend like that's not my fault. It's literally the setup for the Epstein joke.
Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
Epstein definitely totally killed himself, by the way. 100%.
Max Crosby is here. Max, I hope you had a good Juneteenth, brother.
I never saw that one before.
Well, that's weird.
Another thing to understand here is, I actually think this is one of the coolest things about the monologue. Shane is not doing this set for the audience. He's doing it for his fans, at least in my opinion. Shows massive balls on his part, because for me, if I was him, like, I want to kill this audience. I don't want to fucking bomb. And he didn't bomb at all. They're just like The View, and these people are judgmental. He crushed this. But he's doing these jokes not to appeal to the people there, but for the people who are going to watch it later.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. You clap for that.
Okay, that's the best joke of the whole thing. I haven't seen all of this, but I've seen some of the clips. Again, it's not for the people there, it's for the fans at home, and it's for his bro, dude. It's for Matt McCusker. Watch how hard he laughs.
That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players.
Look at that.
That's
just
crazy.
dead. He is leaning back, dying in his seat, and that's the best part, because it's a joke for him and his buddy that all of his podcast fans fucking love. Just such a good setup.
Simone Biles is here. Simone Biles is 4'8" and has 7 gold medals. She's short and has a lot of gold. When she's not competing, she leads a quiet life at the base of a rainbow. It's a leprechaun joke. If you tell Simone a riddle and she can't answer it, she has to give you all of her gold medals. That was the best one.
The joke, obviously pretty straightforward and not maybe the best, but there are jokes that I'll tell that I think they're really funny and the crowd doesn't always agree, and sometimes it's things that I'm like, this is decent and the crowd loves it. That's one of those things where sometimes you just go, fuck you, I don't care, I think that's great, and that makes it better in itself because you're getting to see a glimpse into the comedian's own perspective.
Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. What you booed up there, dude? Shut up.
The uncomfortableness of the crowd is one of the best parts because you can see it's not that they don't think it's funny, it's that they're like, damn, dude, he did that, and I don't want to get caught laughing.
Aaron Rodgers did not take the vaccine because he predicted it would be bad for him. And then he joined the New York Jets. So maybe he wasn't right about it.
There's Matt Stafford's teeth. That's maybe the funniest thing in this whole thing. I like Matt Stafford, but goddamn, dude, your veneer guy really overdid it. Smaller, less white.
Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl.
That's just brutal and
definitely not nepotism,
fantastic.
Right? All right. Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes. All right, there you go. Lighten up a little. This is not serious.
You can see that the crowd has a much easier time just laughing at that because it has nothing to do with something controversial. He's just making fun of himself. The best part about that is, I don't know how much he got to write, but I know that these jokes, at least to start, are written by other people. The fact that they're like, you have to write self-deprecating material for someone else, and then Shane has to go in and read it and be like, oh, nice. So you're saying I bang threes. Thanks for doing that.
Shohei is a once-in-a-generation talent. No one's been able to do what he does at so many positions: pitcher, hitter, and bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime.
Let them just catching McCusker laughing.
They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar, The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First, and of course, the classic Goodnight Boobs. That's my favorite one.
Goodnight Boobs is that's just funny.
He's 73 years old and he's dating a hot 24-year-old, and people are criticizing him? What happened to this country? It used to be a great country. He won 6 Super Bowls. Maybe if you guys won 6 Super Bowls, you wouldn't be sitting next to a fat, ugly dog wife.
The setup there is great, but just the fact that he says fat, ugly dog wife is such brutal language. Also, probably not the right room. You got all sorts of ugly dudes with hot-ass wives and in a room full of athletes, so that's for the people at home.
Yeah, we should have taken that out. I had doubts.
That's one of the best parts, is the realism of him not just reading a teleprompter and only doing what they say. You know, you get some shit presenter to do a monologue and they're just gonna do the cue cards, whereas he's allowing himself the flexibility to be like, look, I'm a comedian, I'm gonna make my own jokes here, and I'm gonna comment on what's already happened, which is, yeah, we should have taken that out, which almost gets a bigger laugh than the original joke. One of the main reasons people watch stand-up, it's not just for the jokes, it's for the perspective of that person. They want to know how that person views the world, what is their point of view. That's why people can have a joke about a similar thing, like Epstein or whatever, my boy, old Jeff, and you'll watch different people's takes on it because you want to see their point of view because you enjoy that comedian and the way that they view the world. And this is him giving a piece of his point of view.
Also, can we stop pretending Donald Trump knows ball? It's like a weird thing where they're like, man, he loves sport. He doesn't know anything about sports. Every time a team comes and visits the White House, he's like, and you must be the guy who catches. It's like, look at these guys, big guys, black guys. And that's just when the New York Liberty visited.
I did not see that.
That's just a joke.
Okay, Let's break that down. So first off, he starts with, this is just a story, it's not a good joke. And the reason he says that is to lower expectations. One of the worst things that can happen is somebody brings you on stage like this. Like Seinfeld has a story about this. They said, Jerry Seinfeld, the funniest man on earth. And he said he proceeded to bomb. So when he does that, he sets a lower standard for the story. I will say that's one of the best jokes overall. That's just a classic misdirection. Big guys, black guys, and obviously his Trump impression is pretty much perfect, which is part of why that works. And he's already said, the guys who can catch, you're assuming this is a football joke. Boom, misdirection, New York Liberty, WNBA, they're large.
Trump does this thing whenever he meets somebody for the first time, even if he doesn't know him, he gives them like a crazy compliment. It's kind of nice. Like he got to the guy next to me and he was like, look at you, you're beautiful. And then he got to me and he was like, look at you, you're huge. I was like, thank you, Mr. President. But he shook my hand, he stood next to me. So I'm just, I was at the end of the line, so there's no one else for him to shake hands with. So he's just standing next. I got to hear him breathe for like a minute, just standing next to me, just. And then his daughter, Ivanka, walked over to us, which, by the way, so hot. She walked over, and it was halftime of the Super Bowl. I was hammered. I was like, hello. Your dad just said I was huge.
One of Shane's big things, and one of the reasons why people enjoy him so much, is that he just comes across like a dude who happens to be very funny and good at stand-up and shit. I wonder what would happen if he just got jacked. There's just such an everyman quality, like the fact that we know he gets hammered. And that's probably true. He probably was sitting in Donald Trump's suite, looking at Ivanka going, doing the thing.
There's one thing I want to say before I get out of here, and this is a dumb joke. You guys aren't going to like it, but it's just a Norm Macdonald joke that I loved when he hosted the ESPYs, and I'm going to do it now.
So yet again, he's setting it up so that it's not high expectation. If you look back at it now, it's almost like, hey, this joke's not for you, it's for me, and it's for my fans.
Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy this year. He's the first defensive player since Charles Woodson to win the Heisman. Congratulations, Travis Hunter, winning the Heisman. That's something they can never take away from you.
Janty should have won the Heisman. Let me just say that.
Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case they can take that away from you. Well, see, a lot of you don't like me, and that's okay.
That ending where he just says, I can tell you guys don't like me, like, that's part of his whole thing, is he's just like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm doing this stuff in the way that I like to, and that's one of the nice things, and that's why he exists sort of outside of the Hollywood people love, but they keep putting him on shit. They put him on SNL, they put him into the ESPYs, because even though he lives sort of on the outside of that little world, it doesn't matter if you're funny enough, they'll put you into that world and let you do these things. And because he doesn't give a fuck, he continues to be funny, similar to Ricky Gervais doing the Golden Globes. Even though they put you in this position of power to be seen by tons of people in what's supposed to be, I don't know, family-friendly type of thing in some fashion, the funniest people are the ones who are going to make fun of the people in the room, who are not going to give a fuck about any repercussions and not be afraid of doing good jokes just because there's a bunch of famous people around. So, in summation, that was a great monologue. I know that there were people talking shit on it, and it's always stupid fucking people who are afraid of humor. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And I don't know all the jokes because I don't watch every sport. And he didn't do any jokes about the English Premier League, which is a little bit of a bummer for me personally. But overall, it's great. Let me know if you enjoyed this breakdown of why a thing was funny. If you liked it, please comment below and tell me that, because that lets me know that I should keep making videos similar to this. What parts did you like? Do you like the explanation of the jokes? Do you like the explanation of how fucking lighting works at comedy shows? What do you like? What do you dislike? Even if you want to leave a mean comment, go ahead, that helps the algorithm. And then hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this and you want to see more shit. And then if you want to see my comedy special, it's on my channel as well. It's called Controversial, and it's very good.